Thank you for tuning in to Not Just Girl Talk with Tiffany and Ashanti. Make sure you got a beverage in your hand. Sit back, relax, and engage with us. Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Not Just Girl Talk, Season 2, Episode 4. Okay, yeah, 4, like I said. We're in Season 2, Episode 4. Thank y'all for joining in. I am your host, Ashanti.
And I'm your host, Tiffany.
And thank y'all for joining us again. Welcome back. Welcome back. And before we get started, Tiffany gonna let y'all know where to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend about Not Just Girl Talk.
Yes, you guys, we are available on all major platforms for podcasting. Specifically, we want you guys to head on over to our YouTube channel. Make sure that you subscribe to that and follow us on all of our platforms. And all of our information on how you can follow and subscribe to our YouTube channel is available in our bio. So please make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend about Not Just Girl Talk.
Thank you.
Got it, girl. I got it.
You got it.
I'm trying.
And y'all already know we like me to have a beverage in your hand when you're listening to us. So what you sipping on today?
So I had to grab the bottle to make sure I know what it was and look at the portion. Look at the pour. So this is some
okay.
This is some Dulce Sole, so sweet peach Dulce Sole. But it's 9% alcohol. It's just something not too bad.
Y'all see Tiffany always coming with a new beverage. So you know the Barbie stock. I'm just saying, y'all, if you pay attention, Tiffany got a new beverage every week. The bar behind her, it be stocked. It's on deck. You hear me?
Surprisingly, we don't touch this back here.
And she don't touch that. So I'm just saying, she always hits us with a new beverage. Okay. Yeah. So it's fully stocked over there. Me, I'll probably be drinking my liquor.
Well, I ain't gonna open the cabinets. I'm not opening that because y'all gonna think we got issues over here.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm a teacher.
So I'm sipping on Prosecco. Yeah, I already know. I like my sparkling, my bubbly, my seltzery. So last week I did switch it up with the wine. But I'm back to my Prosecco that I'm sipping on right now. So that's what I have. Let us know what y'all sipping on. If y'all got any beverage suggestions. At this point, y'all know what we like. So y'all can give us some suggestions on, beverages. But Tiffany, she seems to be trying everything. She has a plethora of options.
I was going to say that I messed with your Prosecco. I like Prosecco. But I'm open to trying different beverages.
Something new. She always got something new in the catalog. Just saying.
Maybe Truly's. But other than that, yeah.
Don't be doing the Truly's.
Okay. Dang, don't ever want us to sponsor them. But yeah.
Oh, they want me to sponsor. I'll sponsor you. Okay, she not. I will.
Yeah.
Y'all, let us know what y'all sipping on when y'all listening to us. You have water, coffee, tea, whatever. It doesn't have to be an alcoholic beverage. Let us know what you're sipping on when you're listening to Not Just Girls Out. So, y'all, we're gonna move on into our segment of sip on it or speak on it. So, Tiffany, what you got for us today?
So we are talking about K. Michelle, and most of you guys know that she's undergone, of course, plastic surgery and getting the plastic surgery out of her butt. That actually affected her whole body, to my understanding. Kind of just affected everything and affected her health, and she had to undergo several surgeries. And it's going to lead into, of course, our topic, but I definitely think that is something that she's transformed, and she has this show out now called Killer Body. And so it's just helping women and all of that. So I want to take a clip, and then Sean, you want to take a look at this clip on her new show, Killer Body?
Yes.
And then you can come back in. Okay, so let's share and see what K. Michelle is talking about.
I didn't know what was going to happen to me until that year. I was the first celebrity to be honest and speak out about the dark side of cosmetic surgery. It's not worth it to look like somebody on Instagram. I am working with women and men who have gone through the exact same thing as me and who are fighting for their lives. I feel like this is all my fault. Selfish. I ended up getting a mommy makeover who wanted a nicer body, like all the girls I see on social media.
I lost a massive amount of weight, which is why I felt the need to have skin removal surgery.
I don't feel pretty enough.
I want a free giveaway in Dominican Republic.
Nobody warned me about the dangers.
Woke up in the morning vomiting on myself, urinating on myself. I had cobalt poisoning and arsenic poisoning.
I was literally put together with glue and tape.
All those little black dots are silicone. Half of the cheek has to go.
I knew it was serious, but I didn't know how serious it was. I was bleeding out for 24 hours.
Bleeding out.
And it was then that I found out that the injections in my butt was freeze pack fluid.
Sit down. I've been laying on my stomach. My butt was on fire. Sharp pains throughout the night. Can't stand for long. The pain.
My stomach hurts. It's still numb.
It was itching and burning at the same time.
Oh my God. I got like a little blade to cut my skin off. Cut your own skin? I really did. My main focus is to help them heal, let them know they're not alone, help them to get back to living their life.
I don't want to go through this journey on my own.
I walk in your shoes.
What are your fears? That she's like our big teacher.
I feel scared for her because I don't want anything bad to happen to her.
Once this is out of my body, it's going to help me reclaim my life. This is like people actually die. When I look in the mirror, I see a broken person. I do want my life back.
Yeah, that's so sad. Looking at these women who actually have gone through this surgery process and it didn't go successfully. So yes, you have a success rate, but also the number of women who undergo these surgeries the surgery, I'm sorry, hasn't been successful. And I ain't gonna lie, it crossed my mind a little bit. Look cross my mind to get a little tuck. Not really a tuck, take the fat out of my stomach. But I'm just gonna work out. Especially after watching Killer Bodies. Like, I'm proud that she's speaking out in a different way versus saying, oh, this is what happened to me. This is what I had to do. This is the surgery that I had to go back through to get my body back in a healthy state. But we're actually showing people outside of her who has gone through this same thing just to look like people on Instagram with filters.
Yeah.
Like you're looking like people on Instagram. Like, why?
Yeah.
Do you have anything to say on it, or are you sticking to that?
I mean, it is sad. And I agree. I'm like you. It's crossed my mind. I mean, after I had my kids, I'm like, after I have my kids, I want to have a mommy makeover. That's my push gift and all of this. Of course, I'm not. And I at this point now, we got too many important things, and that it's scary. That's a scary thing after seeing that. Like, if I got anything, I would have wanted a breast lift though. But
But I think research is important.
Yeah, absolutely.
The doctor, how much you're spending, the research, the amount, like all of that is very, very important. So when you're doing minimum research, maybe I'm not saying these ladies did minimum, I'm not saying it at all.
And out the country too. A lot of, some of them.
I'm not going out the country.
Me.
I'm not doing that. I need to be right here in the States.
I need to know. But I can't afford the people that I probably would want to do it. So, I mean, that's just.
That's why they're the professionals. And that's why they do it the right way. What's that movie? Botched. I mean,
the show Botched.
Those doctors, I will go to them now.
Yeah, but they give me a charity.
They are pretty penny. They are pretty penny. So let us know what y'all think on our sip on it or speak on it in regards to the ladies, K Michelle, what she has going on, exposing kind of much the industry in regards to, body types. And that actually leads us into our topic of discussion today, because our topic today is do adults experience peer pressure? As we just saw, a lot of the women were saying, oh, I got it done. Social media. I know one of the ladies, she did specifically say social media models. She want to look like those women. That is a form of peer pressure. So not just women, but just do adults in general experience peer pressure. So I'm gonna let you go. I kind of been talking. What you think, Tiff?
Yeah, absolutely. I believe adults experience peer pressure. I mean, in general, I think society and social media and all of that, I think from starting, like I always say, I think it does start from home. I think the expectation is that I know that I want my kids to be better than me, and I believe my parents wanted me to be better than them. And so when I say that, I think the formula that society in a combination with your parents kind of may set for, like, they want you to graduate from high school. That's the first thing. They want you to graduate from college, hopefully. And if you do that, then because society says that's what you need to get a good job, then the next thing you're getting a good job, and the next thing you're, hopefully getting married. The next thing y'all are buying a home with a white picket fence, and then you having kids. Ooh. Because that's the way society has, like, that's what you're supposed to do. Mm-hmm. But nobody tells you about, it's not that just cut and dry. It really isn't. Yeah, some people, based on their experience, I'm in education. I know what children, everybody has different lifestyles. So it's not just so easy for everybody to graduate high school. It's not so easy for everybody to necessarily get through college. Doesn't mean you're not going to be successful, but that pressure that society puts on us, it says kind of like, oh, you need these things to get this, amazing job. And that's not always the case. You can have a college degree, I'm here to tell you, and you still be like, people that ain't got a college degree making more than you. That's the reality. Nobody tell you that. I feel like they encourage, oh, you get that degree and you're guaranteed a good job and all of this. And so that takes a toll on you. Like, dang, I thought I spent all this money. I'm going to have a great job and all of this, and then everything will fall in place. So that's just pressure in itself, trying to, but when things don't go the way that this Cosby family or ideal world kind of makes you think it's supposed to be. And that, I think that's definitely causes pressure and kind of mess with your mental, honestly. And so ultimately, I think you definitely need to keep self-reflecting and just make sure you stay aware that what society thinks and what everybody thinks is not necessarily what's important. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I looked at it a little differently. And I like that we started that sip on it and speak on it with that about body image. Social media will have you thinking you're supposed to be this size and have this size butt and all of this, and boobs and all of this. So it's causing, I think, specifically women, like we both have said and admitted, we've thought of it. Like, I'm not opposed, and I'm not saying I'm against it still, probably, but I just, financially, hey, but that is unfortunate. But I do agree that you research if I am going to do something like that. It's not something that I'm going to brag on or anything like that, but I think that I don't want to look different, like not other than myself. You know what I'm saying? I want to look normal, but having kids takes a toll on your body. I mean, that's just facts. And, breastfeeding, if I can give me a good breast lift and a little tummy tuck, you can't tell me nothing. That's all I'm saying. You won't be able to tell, listen, like, you got to see the hands. This how my hands look. You will not be able to tell me nothing. But neither here nor there. But
So, I mean, I agree that social media does play a part. And I did I was like, okay, what's peer pressure? I kind of looked at it from, because, when you're growing up, the parents always say, don't fall into peer pressure. So I think peer pressure as an adolescent and as an adult are totally different. Sometimes the adolescents are kind of experiencing the same things that adults are experiencing in the space of social media. But overall, there is a, separation. However, so peer pressure was the definition. I kind of looked it up because I kind of wanted to kind of look a little more into it. The influence from one's peer groups. Now, what are our peer groups? So both social and primary groups of people who have similar interests, age, backgrounds, and social status. The members of this group likely influence the beliefs and the behaviors. So influence, as you can see from peer pressure, influence is the key word. In everything, social groups, what you see in social media is peer group, is influence. So influence also is the capacity to have an effect on the character, development, or behavior or someone or something. So I just think, honestly, I feel like the new term for peer pressure is social influence. They just switched it up. They just put a cute title on it and made a whole platform for people to feel some form of peer pressure. Now, it's not all bad, but I do think the new term for peer pressure is social influence. And whether we agree or not, like we was just talking on last week about who has the most pressure to get married, men or women. Like we said, social media pressure for the man as far as the engage. Well, I know my end, y'all don't know. For the man as far as the ring, the type of engagement, the type of wedding, so all of that influence is now the new peer pressure from the adult side and in the adolescent space as well. They may not consume the type of information that we consume as far as social media, but we're all consuming some form of social media, which gives us that peer pressure. Now, I do also think that peer pressure from the adult side comes in different ways. Like we pressured in when you, let's say, I know our 20-year class reunion coming up, right? Supposed to be, y'all, we having it, but we've been out of school 20 years.
Hey, y'all, Woodell, if y'all listen to this podcast, please let us know if we did not have a 10-year. And I know this is, I don't mean to cut you off, Sean.
You good?
But hook it up.
Right.
Listen, we need to be coming back. I ain't seen y'all, so
we need 20-year reunion. Thank you. So for our 20-year reunion coming up, right? And when you go back and you start seeing people at whatever space in life you're in, and when you run across associates, and even as going back into our 20-year reunion, guess what? I feel like the type of questions and things are, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What you got going on? What's been going on in your life? Do you have kids? Are you married? What, you kind of, those are the questions and the pressures, not saying you impressing to, you trying to impress somebody or you trying to live up to other people's standards in a sense. However, when you're going into any space where you haven't seen people, maybe family members or friends or ex-classmates, a general question, it's just general. It's not intended to be, spiteful or, trying to one up people, but it's what you've been doing.
Yeah.
What you got going on? Do you have kids? Are you married? So now you kind of reflecting like, dang, what I've been doing.
Yeah.
Have I done enough? What's been going on with me? Am I married? Am I divorced? Did I get married and now I'm divorced? So that space of peer pressure, I feel like comes into play with us being adults, even in just our personal settings, the peers that you hang around. You kind of answer those questions like, what you doing? And you can kind of feel like you're not doing enough based on what someone else is doing in their life. And it may not be blasted on social media, but it may just be in your direct group of people that you communicate with. So I can say for me personally, I did feel like, once, Tiffany got married, she had no kids, she was in college. Let me put it in order. Wait, let me put it in order on how I felt, so we went to school together. Of course, I got pregnant and I left college. Not like left college. I graduated, I got my degree, but I left the university that we were at together in Tissue. But she stayed, with her now husband. They had got a house. They ain't had no kids, traveling, living the young adult life. And I was young and I had like 4 kids. So it's like, I'm doing it backwards. and she's doing it right, and that can be, I'm just saying, that can be, like you said, the societal norm
Yeah.
is do this, and that. And I feel like kind of followed the norm. And I was like zigzagging. And that can be, even though we're friends,
Yeah.
that can still be a form of peer pressure, or that I'm experiencing, like, dang, I didn't do it right. Dang, am I being looked at differently? Dang, I missed it. It can kind of be in its space. So that's just something from a personal, side that could definitely be a form of peer pressure from, my group, even your other friends, kind of followed your path. You know what I'm saying? Y'all kind of did it like that. And I was on like my own little space. And for an adult, we experience that type of pressure, or influence can definitely make you feel some type of way about yourself when it's not necessarily that way, if you will.
Yeah, I know with me, what I struggled with. I mean, it looks like everything was straight and narrow, but for me, going to school, figuring out what my purpose was. My first degree was in nutrition food science. So I'm like, I'm gonna do this. In my head, I'm gonna make this much money and all of this. And it wasn't the case. I struggled to find a decent job, and eventually I went back to school. So it wasn't necessarily the first time around. Although, I was married or whatever, but I decided to go back to school till I got, truly a passion, but I had to redo it, if that makes sense. So I had been married after that, but so that was a struggle for me, not making money. Like, I done got all these student loans and I ain't making money. And, that was a struggle. I definitely think, I listen to kids because I work in middle school, and they always like, I can't wait to be grown, or, my mama don't understand and all of this. And I'm like, I'm here to tell you, adults in ghetto, like for real. It is. It's ghetto. And you know what? I just, they're going to be back like, yeah, you know what? I can't wait to stay in a child's place. That's real talk. Because we're quick to like, oh, we want it, but it's a different type of pressure. It's a different type of problems. So ultimately, I definitely think it can mess with your mental. I think we definitely need to keep ourselves reassured, and always self-reflect on ourselves, and, meditate. Do what you need to do, meditate, get your mind, body, and spirit right, because nothing's going to be perfect. I know what society says is supposed to go in this order and all of that, but we know the real world. It don't matter how perfect the world tells you it's supposed to, or society tells you it's supposed to go. The real world don't work like that. It's challenges that you're going to always experience and all of that. If you're letting that affect you, you have to always kind of do self-checks and reflections and do what you need to do to make sure your mental stays on, because that one is not healthy. And
and I think we all experience different walks of life, to be a light for someone else. If everybody did it the straight and narrow way, and if somebody got off track, who's there to be the light for that person who didn't do it the supposedly right way? So I definitely look at it in that space of, the pressure that we have. We sometimes put it on ourselves, and we can kind of let that go. Like you said, meditating, pray about it. I feel like go to God, definitely get grounded in the space that you're in. Know that the path that you went on is the path that you were meant to go on, and that the path that you're currently on is the path that you're supposed to be on. And we should not look at it like, what have I done enough? And sometimes, I ain't gonna lie, some of y'all ain't doing enough. I'm just saying, some folks ain't doing enough. When I say ain't doing enough, that means you ain't doing the necessary stuff that you're supposed to do as an adult. Go to work, make a living, whether it be do somebody's job as an employer, entrepreneur. Like, you already know the basic foundations at this point, what you're supposed to do as an individual to support yourself. That's the basic. Now, if you're not doing it, you ain't doing enough. I'm gonna be the one to tell the truth. So just get yourself together. But it may be your path. You may took a while to get to where you're supposed to be, to help somebody else who may be taking their time to get there. I also look at the peer pressure from a marital standpoint, or a couple side. So when I think about it, y'all, when you're looking at people on social media, they going on trips with their boyfriends or their husbands, they going to these vacations, they flying out first class, they eating at these restaurants, everybody dressed in their little outfits. Like Tiffany said last week, people are looking on social media at the family pictures, the family photos, the Christmas stuff, all of that. Let's say your relationship is not in a financial space to support what it is that you're currently seeing. That puts pressure and strain on the relationship, whether it be marriage or not. So I think we looking at that in a space as well. Like Tiffany don't fix plates. I fix, my husband plates. Tiffany don't do that. Now her husband could be like, I need my plate fixed. Why where my plate at? I mean, if he would be,
Yeah, but that's everybody's different, but it's not that I don't fix plates. It's just that our household works like what's meant. It works. Are you fixing plates and I'm getting the kids together, or what I'm saying? We trade off. So it's not like one is sitting doing nothing, i.e. me, and he's doing it. So we just kind of trade or change roles, and we help each other to make the household function. Sometimes he fixes plates. Sometimes I do fix plates. I fixed plates this morning, but it just depends.
And see me, everybody's sitting like, I got this. Like either I'm gonna set a spread out on the countertop where everybody can fix their own, like the kids can fix their own plate with a spread on the countertop. But if I have the food on the stove or in the oven, I don't want nobody in my kitchen. I'm gonna fix everyone's plate, even his plate. Have a seat, your plate is coming, your napkin, your fork, your beverage, whatever you want. Like I'm fixing and everybody's taken care of like that. Like if I lay a spread out, the kids, if they want to just get their own food, they can, but I'm going to always fix his plate.
I mean, but everybody's different. So, I mean, at the end of the day, what works for you. And I know that you said like the social media, people look at that like, oh, they going on trips and it's kind of pressure, like we're not financially there. But if you're grounded, like you said, in your relationship or your marriage or whatever, you married that person for a reason, or you're with that person for a reason. Don't let the outside, because I'm here to tell you, I believe I'm cautious about posting on social media, and that's one thing I'm trying to get better at. It's not that I don't do things and all of that. You don't really see what we do. Not to say that I have a problem with it. One, I just don't remember to post stuff, but I do feel like people sometimes post stuff and it's pictures. And so don't believe that's what's behind closed doors. They paint a picture on social media. And some people that's looking take it for face value. So, I mean, I it's not that I have a problem being on social media with family and all of that. It's just, you don't see me a lot on there. I'm trying to get better though, but
I mean, you don't have to. It ain't just, if you know what you're doing. You got pictures in your phone for you and him and your household to remind y'all of those memories. So we don't have to be posted, which is another form of peer pressure. Because we do stuff, we just don't post it. But I'm gonna get better at posting. Why? You ain't gotta post it.
Well, I mean, because I do have the desire to. It's just me. I don't make the time to. It's not, and it's never boastful or anything like that. Right. But sometimes, like, I like posting family stuff more so. Like when we have our traditions with Christmas, we bake cookies and things like that. I like to, showcase that and, the kids' reaction at Christmas and stuff. I just don't always get around to it. That's all.
Yep. Just like the girls post they do to put their smiley face on the thing. I can't stand that. I'm sorry. I can't stand when people post their boyfriend and then they put a emoji face so nobody see who he is.
Really?
Girl. Don't post him then, sis.
Yeah.
Don't post him then.
Like, if he gotta be hidden, it's questionable. Never mind. Let me stop.
Let's not put pressure on
you. Let's not
put the pressure on you. But however, just don't put them up. Who asked you to post a figure? Now you want to be mad because folks like, I digress.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think we both seem to be on the same page this week, where we both think that adults do experience peer pressure, and I think experience it just in different ways than we did as an adolescent. So let us know if you all think that we experience peer pressure. and if you have experienced peer pressure, in what ways as an adult. And you can also put tips in the comments for how you have coped or how you have overcome anything that was, you felt that was peer pressure, that you can give advice to other people who are on the platform. So that'll definitely be appreciated. Like Tiffany said, meditation, prayer, definitely finding yourself, staying grounded in your belief system. So
Therapy.
Baby, she's a therapy advocate. You hear me? Therapy. So whatever it is that you need to do to make sure that you are grounded in your space, not to become a part of the social influence, which I think is a new name for peer pressure, then that's something that you should do. So now, that was in our discussion. We're gonna move on into the soul food of the week, because y'all already know we like to give y'all something to feed your soul for the week. So Tiffany, what you got?
Well, I'm going to start with the plug for this week.
You want to start with the plug? Okay.
I don't know, but we can do soul food. Actually, I can start with soul food, and then we'll go back.
No, we'll go to the plug. Okay. The plug. Okay, y'all. Backing up. Rewind. So we're gonna do the plug for the week. Our next segment is the plug. She right. I messed up. It's cool though. We're gonna keep it rolling.
So this week, of course, I'm still on education. Either I'll be talking about education or parenting, different things. But the nugget I want to give you this week is just give teachers grace. Mm-hmm. Give teachers grace. And when I say that, a lot of people can assume like, teachers are just their babysitters or they don't do nothing. But I really think that teachers are still here, especially at this point during pandemic and all of this, and whatever the case may be, we're here because we feel like it was a calling at some point. It may not necessarily been in high school or middle school, or necessarily when you first went to college, but at some point you said, I'm called to do this, and this is why I'm still in it. So I think teachers really do need grace, because we get maybe, and I say that loosely, 3 days of planning. So if we're talking about a normal job, truly, we should be able to do things within work hours. So that's the reality. And as teachers, we get about 3 days roughly on a good week of planning. And so that's to do lesson plans, grade papers. You're trying to plan bomb lesson plans where students are engaged and do well on this test, 10 ready in my case, at the end of the year, and all of these things. And then respond to emails, make sure if you got an email from a parent or whatever we need to do, because we didn't got an email from administration or whatever. So it's a lot we're trying to do on those 3 days too. And don't lash out at the teacher because they didn't do something perfect. Communicate with them. Just email them, like I always say. Teachers generally get back with you in 48 hours, and just bear with us. We're doing the best we can and where we at now. So that's my plug for this week. Have grace with your child's teachers.
Yay. Okay, y'all, we're gonna move into my plug for the week. So for the plug for this week, it's actually a building. I want to leave a disclaimer again for the week that I am not giving personal mortgage advice. I'm not giving personal loan advice. I am giving you my expertise and my experience in the mortgage industry. So my plug for this week is the LTV is also, which is the loan to value, is also a factor in approval for your loans. So we've talked about the credit report is not the only indication. We talked about the debt to income ratio. And this week we'll be talking about the loan to value. When you're applying for, I'm going to give you all a standard overview of a conventional loan, not FHA, not VA, not any other type of loan. This is just a standard conventional. When you are going out for the loan for the refinance, if you're doing a cash out refinance, the loan to value is generally 80% of the loan to value, depending on the lender, which I feel like this is still standard. But also for a rate and term loan is 97%. And the loan to value is the percentage of the appraised value of the home. So when you're doing a refinance, you have to know that depending on the type of refinance you have, the loan to value which is the amount that you can borrow on the loan, is based on the appraised value of the home. Now, when you're purchasing a home, the loan to value is the actual percentage of the sales price of the home based on the loan amount. So sales price based on the loan amount, which is how you get your loan to value. So those are just some plugs for this week to consider when you are purchasing or when you are refinancing a home. If you have any additional questions, put that in our, you can DM us, you can email us. The link our email information is in our bio as well as in the description box below. And that is my plug for the week. We moving into soul food now. Okay. Sorry, I messed up. I did it backwards. It's okay.
It's all right, girl. It's just that I didn't have my soul food up. So I was like, you know.
It's okay. It's okay. We ran it back. We ran it through. We got it together. So our soul food for the week. Y'all already know we like to leave y'all something to feed y'all soul for the week. So Tiffany, what we got for the soul food?
Yes, our soul food for this week is, we've talked about adult that we experience pressure. So this week I had a couple of quotes, but this one is what stood out the most to me. Ask yourself if what you're doing today is getting you closer to where you want to be tomorrow. So again, I'm going to repeat that. Soul food for this week is ask yourself if what you're doing today is getting you closer to where you want to be tomorrow. That's our soul food for this week.
Soul food. And y'all, we're going to wrap the show up. And y'all already know it's two things that we want you to do when you're listening to Not Just Girl Talk. Number one is refill your cup
and vibe with Tiffany and Ashanti.